How's it going, guys? Cody, guys, back again, dropping yet another video. Right, guys, this time it's a story in The Guardian. It's on that hellhole, HMP Liverpool or Walton Jail. This is happening in many prisons up and down the country, not specifically just Walton. Story in The Guardian, guys, link in the description below like I always do. The guy that's written this article is a guy by the name of Eric Allison, and Eric Allison is a journalist. He's based here in Manchester. He covers Crown Square, Crown Court, which is one of the Crown Courts here in Manchester. You've got Minchell Street and you've got Crown Square. He's actually a former prisoner himself. He's a gentleman. He really is a gentleman. So anyway, the headline reads, "Prisons ban Christmas cards with glitter due to drug epidemic in jails." Prisons and young offenders institutions in England and Wales have banned Christmas cards with glitter or sticky stuff because of the drugs epidemic in British jails. The latest smuggling method is spraying posts with drugs, particularly psychoactive substances such as spice. The drug dissolves into the paper and then is smoked as a joint. Last year, prison governors introduced a policy of only providing inmates with photocopies of original letters as a precautionary measure. After it was revealed that books and letters were being sold with LSD-like hallucinogenics. Now, as part of their robust drug strategy, many prisons have banned cards containing glitter, concealed panels, sticky bits, organic materials and cloth. The Guardian contacted a number of jails to ask about their policy. HMP Manchester said, shop-bought cards without glitter are okay, no homemade cards. HMP Liverpool said it would allow bog-standard shop-bought cards without glitter, while HMP Leeds, Armley Prison, said plain Christmas cards, no glitter or sticky stuff. If handmade, it must be on plain white paper. HMP Birmingham said nothing must stick to cards, and HMP Belmarsh said plain cards, no sticky bits, no glitter for security reasons. That's obviously a Cat A. Feltham Young Offenders Institution said its rule was plain cards, no glitter, nothing stuck on it, while an institution in Aylesbury stipulated no glitter and nothing raised. In her annual report published in October, the Acting Prisons and Probation Ombudsman Elizabeth Moody said the use of psychoactive substances was completely out of control in prisons because they were readily available. Prisons are struggling with the consequences of bad batches of psychoactive substances, which can result in simultaneous multiple collapses of prisoners, unsustainable demand on prison resources, ambulances queuing up at the prison gate, and all too often death. She said this is a destructive even epidemic and has become the new norm. While acknowledging the scale of the drugs crisis in prison, watchdogs have argued banning Christmas cards is dehumanising and may have a damaging impact on prisoners. Carol Willow, whose charity Article 39 fights for the rights of children in institutional settings, said, "It's shameful enough that children will wake up locked in cells on Christmas morning, let alone withholding cards from friends and family. This is yet another knee-jerk government response to understaffing." Francis Crook, I think she's missed the point there a bit because it's about the drugs. Francis Crook, the chief executive of the Howard League for Penal Reform, said Christmas is a particularly hard time for people in custody and anything they can do to alleviate the stress should be done. Prisons and subsequent debt are real challenges, but it's humanity that will reduce demand, not just security. Great from Francis Crook there, hit the nail on the head. The Ministry of Justice said the safety and of staff and prisoners is absolutely paramount. A number of prison governors have decided to intercept Christmas cards to prevent them being used to smuggling dangerous psychoactive substances. Photocopies are usually provided to prisoners so they can still see the messages from their friends and family. The MOJ stressed that this action had been made by prison governors and was not mandatory. The Scottish Prison Service told The Guardian there were no restrictions on the type of Christmas cards allowed in its jail. For those that don't know, justice has been devolved to Scotland and they run their own ship, so to speak. Now, like I say, I've got to look at this with a level-headed approach. Now, first off the bat, right, I understand they're trying to combat the obviously spice and the psychoactive substances and stuff, i.e. that's in paint and pictures and letters. And I was hearing £50 for a one, you know, like you've got A4 line paper, one strip. I've heard 50 quid, 60 quid, 70 quid. That will go up depending on the demand on the wing. If you've got several people with spice paper, then you can't charge a premium. If you're the only person or one or two of you've got spice paper, you can charge top dollar because they're going to argue over it and it's addictive and they'll outbid each other to get the drug. Being a drug dealer or a businessman in that regard, you'd sell it to the highest bidder. That's how it goes. Like I say, but also the flip side of that, guys, is like I say, you've got young children, right, that are making at school cards for their fathers and their mothers, because we've got female offenders and stuff, right, for their loved ones that may be in prison, right, and they might have used paint and there's glitter and stuff, because that's popular, in it. Kids, if they're making a pre-made card themselves, they make it with glitter and stuff. They make them in school. The mothers might make them for them, or the fathers, and then they're sending it into the mothers or the fathers in prison. I mean, obviously, it could be a father that's saying, right, you make this for your mother, who might be in a prison in England, or it might be a mother saying, look, make your dad a Christmas card and we'll send it into him. But the cards are not getting through, guys. And like I say, there's combating drugs, and then there's actually like, why don't they just have a sniffer dog and just run a sniffer dog's nose over the mail? You've got to, I know it's not practical, guys, that, to be honest. I wasn't really thinking when I said that, but what I'm trying to say is that young children who are making these cards with the best of intentions and stuff, and they're writing to their mum or their father in prison, them cards should be allowed through. In Scotland, there's no policy. They'll just send cards in, homemade or otherwise, they'll get through. Prisons in England and Wales, guys, they're not letting them through. No raised bits, no glitter, no glue, no sticky bits, no cloth. And like I say, you've got, obviously you do get some people that go through them channels to get drugs into the prison, but most prisoners' families and prisoners' children, their intentions is just, I'm just making a card for me dad, I want to send it into him or my mum in prison. And they should get through, guys. Like I say, it can be a morale boost at this time of year. It's the worst time of year, guys. Prison isn't a punishment to those that have got nothing on the outside, right? If you've got a loved ones and family and a missus and children on the out, right, prison at Christmas, because we've got to take into consideration again, every time I say these things, right, like I say, if you've got a family or a loved one, or you've got a family and support network or girlfriend and missus, kids, whatever, prison's a massive time of year, and you go through turmoil. You're trying to keep your mind occupied. You're trying to make the best of a bad situation, but your thought process never far from your family. Your family's thoughts are never far from you. You're in prison. Then we've got prisoners that obviously don't. You've got different religions and stuff, which is obviously prison's very diverse. So they won't celebrate Christmas, but because they might have Eid or Diwali, things like that, because that's Christmas in prison, isn't it? Well, they've got their own Diwali and Eid and stuff. There's 2 Eids a year. There's a Diwali a year, so they'll just celebrate it, sort of thing. You get, like I say, you get extra time out of your cell. Well, you do if you're not in a Cat A anyway, in my experiences and stuff. But cards, guys, Christmas cards, it might sound silly, but it's a morale boost, guys. Getting visits, morale boost. Getting your canteen, morale boost. Speaking to your loved ones on the phone, morale boost. Getting cards and letters from your loved ones, morale boost. Massive thing, man. And like I say, I understand in one regard it's security, but at the same time, I just feel like they're being awkward, guys. There must be ways they can test this paper. They can, like I say, run a drugs dog over each thing and just think, right, again, that's not practical, but what I'm trying to say is them cards should be allowed into them prisons. That's what I'm saying. Like I say, it's a morale boost, and you can't put a price on that. You really can't. All those people that are out there that are going on visits over Christmas, that loved ones are sending in cards to their loved one in prison and going on visits and sending them money and stuff like that. The reality is, guys, you're saving prisoners' lives. I know it sounds silly and you might think, what, he's talking shit. Reality. By supporting a loved one in prison, you are dramatically reducing their risk of self-harm and or suicide. That's the reality. So I've got nothing but love and respect for all those prisoners' families out there that some travel local, some travel national to go on visits to visit their loved ones. You're saving your loved ones' lives. It's as simple as that. Because if you was to take you and your family and your support out of the picture, would your loved one honestly cope in prison? It's the reality, guys. But keep doing what you're doing. Got nothing but love and support for all of you. Keep up doing what you're doing. Keep supporting your loved one and stuff. Never go to bed on an argument, because obviously your loved one, your prisoner boyfriend, unless he's got a mobile phone, he could ring you back. But if he's just on the prison phone, if you have an argument and you put the phone down, he can't ring you back. His head's going to go to dark places and he could contemplate self-harm or suicide. Not every prisoner does take that course of action, but it's a lot more than you think. Right, guys, going to leave this video here. Let me know what you think about the video, guys. I've waffled on long enough. Like, comment, subscribe. Cody out.